What have I done? What have I become? I can't describe this. This is my mid-mic crisis.
Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Mid-Mic Crisis. I'm your host, Chamber, and with me today is our... I feel like you're more than a producer. I feel like you're part of the show. Co-host. I'm going to say co-host at this point. Mr. Pain, a.k.a. Call Me By My Pain.
That was a good one.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. It's freezing in Tennessee, but
Bro,
we're all right. Cold enough that the schools got out. So
no school today?
yeah, there was no school today.
That is cold. So we're past the point here in Canada where it's too cold to go to school. So you're going to school. It's just, I picked up my kids early today just because I didn't want to wait outside
Right.
at the end of the day. So I called the school about 2:00. I said, hey, I'm going to be there like 3:00. Have the kids ready. I'll meet you up front. Yeah.
I love it. Were they like, okay? Like, is that how the
Yeah,
school do thing?
What are they
It's
going
like
to
it's
say?
my kid, you know?
Yeah. Sometimes I get the email like, oh, if they're late, they're going to have to sign in, sign in a late slip. And my kids are all worried about it. I'm like, I don't care if you have a billion late slips. Nothing's going to happen. Okay. You can be a late. If I'm dropping you off and you're late, don't even worry about it. Sign everything you want. Okay.
You're good to go.
Yeah. So it is absolutely freezing today. It was minus 28 degrees Celsius, which is,
I was going to say, I'm trying to do it
cold.
in my head.
It's like is minus like 20 cold for you guys? Because I feel
that is very cold.
I feel like minus 28 Celsius to Fahrenheit. Ooh, it's gonna be cold. Yeah, minus 18.
No chance.
It was so cold today.
Yeah.
I didn't go to work.
Did you at least have some sun?
I mean, it was sunny, but I'm like, doesn't matter. It was way too cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was way too cold. Hey, you have a baby?
Yeah.
I thought it was Bunch complaining about the time of the show. In the back
I saw you look to the side. I was like, oh, does he think that's his kid? I'm like, of course.
No, the sound of a bundle of joy like that. I only get F words and it's bad news.
Don't worry, he's with his mother. That's probably part of the problem.
It's usually the part. By the way, Bunch, for those of you listening or watching, Bunch is running late. He will be joining us shortly. He's a bigwig. He's a big wheel at the Cracker Factory. He's doing his thing, but he should be with us momentarily. Also told us he has to leave early too. So this guy's putting in part-time work.
So unprofessional, right?
It is unprofessional. But today we're going to be talking all things Trump Memecoin. We're going to be talking about the spin-off Melania Memecoin and the possible official Barron Memecoin. Just absolute horseshit is that. Listen, okay. Now that right-wing Bunch is out of here, I can talk to you, an American that I trust. I didn't know I couldn't trust Bunch, but as of I think it was last week or the week before, I found out. I don't know about this Bunchu character. How's it been? First week? Has it been a week yet? Inauguration was what, Monday?
Yeah, Monday. So 2 days.
2 days. Felt like 2 weeks.
Well, he tried to, send things ablaze early before he even got in.
He sure did. We felt his presence. Even here, obviously here in Canada, talk of tariffs, crazy stuff. So how's it been? First 2 days official Trump presidency. It doesn't seem to be going so well.
It's chaos for sure. It seems like the people are, we're just more and more divided these days. So, like, is
I
there anything that'll ever unite us?
Yeah, I feel like just being regular. How about those billionaires that are like, maybe we could unite against them? That might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Just thinking out loud. There's what, like 10 of them? There's literally
Right, exactly.
300 million of you guys.
That's right.
So just a thought. Just a thought. Maybe we realize that there's significantly more in common with the regular voter than there are differences. So maybe
Yeah. This is probably the deepest. I think I mentioned it on the show before. This is probably the deepest I've been into politics this go around, but I'm interested to see how they're gonna do with the government spending. If they actually can get stuff cut, maybe it'll be alright. Does the government have the best track record of getting things
Listen, we're beyond that.
done?
You guys are beyond government spending. That's what I'm worried about here in Canada. I'm like, I wonder if this new party will bring in, proper spending. That's where I am. You
Yeah.
guys are like,
It's just fake numbers at this point.
it's just literally screaming La Migra everywhere, right? Like that's what you got to do for our brothers and sisters out there that are just getting scooped up by ice left and right. La Migra, La Migra.
There
Yeah,
are people I mean, the area I live, close to, like, a Spanish-speaking
yeah.
area, and, you know, I I don't really know how they actually feel because I haven't talked to them, but people are saying, they're all scared that they're gonna get deported and kicked out of the country and
Yeah,
everything.
like what the hell? That there's like talk of like people that are naturalized citizens getting deported. Like that's insane to me.
That is insane. Now I feel like that's probably some fear porn, but I don't know. That's the
Listen,
crazy thing. The
I don't
sad
know if I don't know if it's that far off. We'll see what happens, but yeah, we're gonna I'm gonna keep an eye on it over here from this side of the border.
Yeah,
I'll be
no.
watching out for you guys. But yeah, so I mean, what are your I'm curious to see what your thought is on the whole Trump meme coin thing. Um, in my first reaction is like, how is this even legal? Like,
Yeah.
how are you even official Trump meme coin? He retweets. I think he retweeted on Twitter. Was talking about on Truth Social, the
Yeah.
the blue sky of of the right. Um,
I
yeah,
can't figure it out. So everyone acts like they know what they're talking about on X. So I've seen that if once he got in office, this couldn't technically happen, so it had to be before he got in office, and then he could help endorse it. I don't know. What have you heard?
I mean, my thought has always been like these are securities and have been treated as such. Some anonymous guy in his basement whipping up something on pumped up fund that goes to $1 billion is one
Yeah.
thing. But like, I don't know, we just saw it a couple weeks ago with like the Hawk Tua girl. Like it was a fraction of what they were doing with the Trump token. And now I don't know, like she's been MIA, she's been sleeping,
Yeah.
She said she was going to take a nap and hasn't been seen in weeks.
She was almost on our show. Wow, she would have tarnished it.
She would have, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
we got bailed out.
But yeah, I mean, she hasn't been seen. I believe there have been like lawsuits brought up against her for the creation of the meme coin. So I mean, how is the Hawk Tua girl unable to do it yet? Donald Trump can do it, and it's just like 10, 15, 20 times bigger. Like, I don't know. Like, it makes no sense.
Well, that's what everyone says. Crime season. On-chain crime is
I know. I even
now
bought
legal.
crime. I even bought hashtag crime, and it didn't pay. Crime doesn't
didn't.
pay.
No.
Crime never pays, man. It's unbelievable. So,
Well,
So
I can't say right now. So I've been kind of back and forth. I'm actually in a short position
okay.
on Trump.
Here, do you have the chart? I have the chart here. I'll
I
bring it up.
do have it. I have it on a different browser. Yeah, go ahead and pull that
Here it
up.
is. I'll put it up here.
And so I got it at a pretty decent level on the downtrend. And then you kind of had that reversal. What was that? That was kind of yesterday. And then I sold again. I bought more short at around the 47-cent mark, and that was right about the time, I think, right about the time Bunchu might have said if it hits like 48, it's like blast off time or something.
I mean, bro hit 49. And then literally just retraced back. I mean, I don't know. It is so difficult to predict these things.
Impossible.
My instinct is it just peters out. It just kind of and I don't know, maybe you have a bit more information on this than I do. My understanding is that I think for both this one, the Melania one, I don't know about the Barron one, but definitely the first two, there was an 80% kind of 80% of the total supply was held and locked. Does that sound accurate to you?
I think that was only on the.
Was that the Trump one?
Yes, I'm not. I didn't even look at the tokenomics on Melania. I couldn't even get in that one.
What are we even talking? We haven't even looked at the tokenomics on Melania.
Yeah,
what an insane sentence, eh? Where are we? Is this even real life at this point?
No, we're in a simulation. Absolutely, you are correct. I can't believe those words just came out of my mouth.
Yeah, I haven't seen the tokenomics yet on.
And I don't even think Barron hasn't been confirmed as official.
No,
and you got our guru Sugar Shane defending the floor. He
wants it. He wants it to be real. And first of all, shout out. Absolutely, he's in the last couple of months. I believe he was on Chill Guy.
Yep.
Early.
Yep. He's on a generational run.
This guy, I mean, and you love to see it. Shane, one of the quality people in our space, one of the quality people. I would say, ranking them, Shane and yourself are tier A, and then everybody else is just looking down. I was chatting to JP the other day, see how he was doing. Sometimes I DM him just independently because he's one of my faves. He's one of the sweetest guys behind the scenes.
Yeah,
one of the meanest guys in public. So sometimes I just like to have a nice sweetie conversation with him. But I had one with him the other day. It was nice. But Shane's always a sweetie. Shane's always looking out. So if you're not following Sugar Shane, follow him on Twitter. The guy when he tweets, you better fucking listen. That's all I'm telling you. The guy puts out absolute fire. Big calls lately. I think at this point, though, I think he's excited.
I
think he's excited. I think he's in that momentum right now. So I think he's making riskier calls than he should be.
I would love to tell him that, but then I look at
he's gonna drop another winner on us.
Look at his port.
It's unbelievable. So I mean, I don't know. We're currently sitting at 38.80 per token. That's a $7.7 billion market cap. Insane. And technically the fully diluted value is almost 39 billion. So that includes the the 80% that's tucked away. So
and at this point, I'm like, what is the bull? And I'm sure Bunch he'll kind of have more thoughts, but I'm like, what is the bullish catalyst? Why wouldn't this just kind of flame out? He's got to go do presidential stuff.
I mean, let's be honest. Everything this guy puts out flames out.
Yeah.
Every single thing. I'm not even being a dick. Like everything.
NFTs,
everything has the vodka, the steaks, the casinos, like everything.
We're going businesses too. Dang, we're getting personal.
But I mean, it's if he had the only thing that was successful, in my opinion, is the TV show, is The Apprentice.
Yeah.
That was successful. Everything else has not been. So I don't know. The Trump University, you know what I'm saying? So you're taking something like a meme coin, which is inherently just garbage to begin with.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then applying the Trump brand to it. I mean, it's that double garbage. So my instinct is like, there's no follow through with this. They own, I mean, even if it peters out, it's still going to be worth like $1 billion. You know what I mean? And
Right.
as the tokens divest, you can just cash out, and he's got more and more money. So I don't know. It makes no sense.
Yeah, and I'd venture to say normies who got in on this are probably underwater, and they can't. If you haven't been, there are even some people who've been in crypto who can't handle a 30% drawdown. So they see that red, and they're just gonna sell. They're gonna be upset, and half the people don't even like Trump. So like, what? That's why I'm thinking, who's gonna pour more money into this?
I mean, it's so high right now. Like we're talking just under an $8 billion market cap.
Yeah, it was a flash in the pan to me.
100%. We saw this. We saw this with everything. Like, I mean, we've had this conversation before. You guys, you guys were very excited about Chill Guy, and
Whoa.
yeah, I'm gonna put you two together. And a lot of the same things are happening. Like it's like Chill Guy, it's Trump, it's Choose Rich. Like they're all the same. Hawk Tua, you know what I mean? The ones that accumulate this kind of value so quickly.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just not the move. Like right now, my big move, what I have the most, equity in currently is some nice quality AI tokens, right? I'm a big Griffin or Griffane or whatever, however you say it. That has just been a nice consistent bag, just been growing nicely week over week. You know what I mean? No flash in I don't need it to. I don't need necessarily 10x in 10 hours.
Let's talk about AI coins real quick. So once all the liquidity got sucked out, I missed the play. I was like, okay, what is going to be undervalued?
Yeah.
Solana, that network, I can't stand it. So I tried Swarm AI. I don't know what the ticker is. It's probably Swarm.
Mhm.
I tried to get in that, like one of the, like something like a Griff AI or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it's called.
Yeah. One of those, I was like, okay, one of these is going to be it. Which one am I going to pick? I went to go get Swarm, and I mean, I tried like 5, 6, 7 times, and I just could not get it to go. And I wasn't playing with crazy size, so I wasn't trying to just, bribe a soul, 10 soul, whatever.
Right.
And it was at 30 million. And I looked at it at one point. I'm pretty sure, I don't even want to know what it is now, but I know it was back to triple digits. And it was just such an easy play. And it makes me like this. Yeah.
So here, this is Griffane or Griffin or whatever you want to call it.
I mean, that looks honeypotish.
What are we talking about here? This is absolutely fantastic. I got in around the $170 million market cap. Currently sitting
beautiful.
Yeah, like right in this little area here. As on that first big dip, I got in, and it's just been a nice little investment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't, because you don't always need the 100, the 1,000x, right? Like,
well, and honestly, like I truly think this one's going to be a multi-billion-dollar coin.
Yeah.
Like to me, at least 2 billion. So if I can get it at say 200,000 or 200 million, that's a 10x. If it gets to where I think it's going to get to, that's a 10x. And is it going to take a month? Is it going to take 2 months? Is it going to take 3 months? Maybe, but that's okay. Like 3 months to get a 10x, not a problem. I have no
not
problem.
Bad. Go look at TradFi. They would love that.
Absolutely. So, sorry, what was the other one you said?
Swarm AI. Trying to see if oh yeah, man, I think it's SN. No, that's not the right one. No. Swarms, is that what it is?
Hi, long-time listener, first-time caller.
One second. I go back.
Yeah, we're all over looking at charts.
I gotta go back here. Hey, Bunch.
Hi.
How are you?
Late. Sorry.
That's okay. You gotta leave. You gotta leave soon too, don't you? You got like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I do. I do. I apologize.
That's okay.
It's a hectic week over here. We are getting ready for launch of our product next week, and so we are kind of all hands on deck all the time. So I need to, have things going on and adult things,
I totally understand that.
Yeah.
CEO things.
That's right. That's right. I'm not a low-level employee these days, so I'm mandatory at these meetings. Yeah. But good. I see we've been running for 20 minutes and have two viewers. Yeah, really holding down the fort. That's double our normal viewership. We're ready to rock and roll.
First of all, we're at a staggering what are we? 56 live viewers currently.
I'm only seeing two. So
that's okay. We're just seeing me and you.
Must be a glitch in the matrix, but all right, what were we in the middle of? Talking Trump here?
Yeah, we're talking Trump coin. We're talking. I mean, we'll kind of rehash some of the topics we were talking about.
Well, I've got till 45 after. So
okay,
if
quarter two and other.
yeah. Well, quarter two. Yes, for those listening in normal time delineations.
45 after.
My question was, would you like me to recount my personal journey with this over
100%?
Absolutely.
So the viewers and listeners, we've kind of set them up on kind of what the timeline of events for the Trump token launch itself. Thanks, Mayhem. He's coming in from Twitch and from YouTube, which we appreciate. So I saw it. I was telling Payne, I saw it probably 1 o'clock in the morning, the evening that it launched. And I think when I saw it, it was about $8 billion valuation.
Yeah, maybe around that time. It might have even already clipped like 10 at the
right. It was at a number. I was just like, well, I'm not like it's 1 a.m. I'm good. I'm going. I don't mean to be looking at charts at from 1 a.m. till 6 in the morning, right? So I kind of put my phone down and missed that one. Payne mentioned that he saw it at around $2 billion market cap the evening of. So where did you come in? Where did
you saw it at 2, Payne?
Yes.
And what was your did you get in at 2 or did you say nah, not for me?
I thought scam. I mid-curved pretty hard.
Yeah. So here I am enjoying a nice Friday evening with my wife. Mm-hmm. We are laying in bed watching some sort of trashy reality show on Netflix. I believe it was The Circle in particular. Ooh. Was the show we were watching, and we had just finished an episode and we were deciding if we were going to start a new one, and it's around 10:30, I would say, probably. We were going to start a new one. I got a ping on my phone. I picked it up and my phone goes on do not disturb at 9 p.m. and doesn't turn back on for notifications until 7 a.m. So I'm rarely, just locked in. And so it'll just be, I'll have to pick it up and look at it to see what's going on. But for some reason, I looked at my phone, I was checking my texts and I was like, all right, I'm gonna log on Twitter. I opened up Twitter and I saw what was going on. And the first tweet I think I saw was Tyler did it. His tweet that had
friend of the show, Tyler, right? That's what I'm thinking of.
Okay. Yes. He had tweeted the chart and said something about still unsure if it's real, but it's already at 1.2 billion. And
could you imagine not knowing it's real?
The timestamp was 20 minutes prior, and I'm like, oh man. So I literally look at my wife and I'm like, she's like, are we watching or what? And I was like, I'm sorry. Something is happening is what I said to her. I was like, something 100%. Is happening.
We've all had the something is happening.
Yeah. And I need that. By the way, this won't be the first something is happening over the course of this story. So so I go, something is happening. I need to pay attention. please forgive me. And so she says, sure, and goes to bed. And now I'm locked in. And I'm like, I go to actually, the very first thing was I went to the war room. I went to the shitcoin channel in DJ Network war room to see if anybody was talking about it. And somehow nobody had mentioned it yet. I think like rule number 1 might have scanned it at some point at like 1.5 billion, but there was no one talking about it.
Really?
And so I just popped in there at like 10:30. I have a screenshot somewhere. And I was like, WTF is going on? And then I dropped the contract address and I was like, is this real? And I don't know. It took a couple minutes for anybody to notice, and then the chatter was on. Like Shane jumped in, and he's like, "I bought some," and I'm like, "All right, well, I'm trying to process if all of this is real, what's going on, trying to understand in a very small amount of time, because, like you said, from the time I saw Tyler's tweet to actually looked at it, it was already at 3 billion." And so I was like,
insane.
oh, okay, I need to act fast and decide if I'm going to do this or not. And so I'm like, we're trying to decide in the war room, is it real? Is it fake? I understood that, like, okay, it first came on to Truth Social as a post, then it came on to the X account. And you know, if it was hacked, it would have gotten taken down. So like, we're trying to speculate on that. We're looking at the token allocations and the lockups, and it's like 80% locked up for 3 months and all this stuff. And I'm just like, you know what? I think I've bought 10 50K shitters this week that have gone to zero. There's no reason I shouldn't buy this, right? Like at least with an amount I was okay losing, right?
Yeah.
So I fire in my first buy of like $500 or something at like 3.2, and I'm in.
Okay.
Now I'm in. And so now at least I'm moon or dust on that part of the bag.
100%.
And now we can at least, all right, I'm in if it goes, and we can continue to do our research. And as we're kind of talking about it and the news is coming in at like in real time, it's like, oh, it's becoming more and more likely that it's real. And then I'm just like, man, if this is real, this, like, I don't understand why you wouldn't
number.
buy it. Right. Is like, how much can I put?
Yeah.
And so that's basically what I did. And so I took everything that I had in, again, remind you, I'm in bed, like literally, you know, nipples out, just like protruding at this point, just like totally like, is this it? Am I gonna make it? And so, you know, can totally cut glass at this point. And I'm like, what's in my mobile wallets? Like, because I'm still not sure that I'm interested enough to like go find a ledger, and like most of that stuff is not on Solana, so it would have taken me to like, you know, bridge and all of that stuff. And you really had to be really, really
all
fast with your decisions. So I'm just like, okay, I had 2 mobile wallets with probably 6K total worth of Solana in it. So
that's enough to make some money.
It's enough to feel really nice about the exposure you have, but it wasn't like, man, I'm full porting everything I have. And so of course there's kind of like the revisionist history of it is like, man, I should have. But at the same time, still at any second, you're like, oh, this could be zero. Like it could just come out, and it could just come out and say, you know, this isn't real. This isn't, you know, anything like. And
it happened to me the other day where I was holding Mac, which was potentially the secret Jupiter cat meme coin. I was hanging on for dear life, and that thing just there was some bad information, or like I honestly think it was probably made up information saying that it wasn't associated, and immediately just tanked 85%. And I was like, well, there we go.
Yeah, I was in that one too for a much smaller amount that I think I got out of. But like the crazy thing about this, and now we'll see it later in the weekend though, is like if you if that were to happen with the amount of volume and stuff that was going on, like you can't get out. It's impossible. The whole network freezes and shuts down. And then like you're starting to see the massive buys come in and massive buys. And I'm just like, okay, I'm just putting everything. So between 3.2 and like 7, I think I bought and just kept putting in clips as much as I could get in. And the final clip I think I sent in, I was like, man, I should leave myself some dry powder just in case or whatever, or like maybe this is the top of my risk appetite. And then finally I was just like, fuck it, it's going. So I threw the last clip in at like 7, and so now I'm in. Now it's just like, okay, you're just trying to take in all the conversation, all the information in real time through the fire hose and decide, okay, do I stay in? Is this real? All of these things. And so we're talking in the war room, and, you know, it started to hit, it hit 8 billion and started to dip back down pretty aggressively. And to the point where we're all sitting in the war room, like, is this over? Is that it? Was this
And
the
sorry,
top?
this is still the middle of the night.
This is about probably 11:30 midnight at this point, right?
Okay.
Like, yeah, we're probably around midnight. And so, it's starting to
Okay,
dip.
I have it here. I have it here. So it would have dipped. You would have peaked at about $33. So for those listening,
Oh yeah, but this is still like, we're talking on Friday night. So we're talking.
that's where I am.
Yeah,
Friday
let's see.
night.
You don't have it on screen, by the way.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
There you go. So Friday night, it was probably in the.
Is this right here?
Yeah, probably right around in that area. So like Friday night, we're probably talking, you know, this 10 o'clock. I mean, sorry, like the 10 billion-ish part where it hit like 8 to 10, maybe wick to 10. And we're like, oh shit, is this over? Yeah. And so we're deciding whether to hold on or not. And Shane's like, I'm out. I'm selling a big clip. And Shane sold a big clip. And I was trying to decide.
Probably right around here is my guess.
Yeah,
right?
Probably. And no, because it still was under 10. It was still under 10 at that point.
Oh, really?
So it's somewhere in that green candle that it's somewhere in that green
That's
candle.
So rough.
Yeah. But we're like, okay, so Shane sells, and I'm just watching the chart, and I was like, man, I think I'm holding it. I think I'm just gonna hold it and see what happens. And so Shane actually rebought higher than what he sold for, because he's like, and he sold a portion of what he had, not because he was in at 1.5 or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he bought back higher at like 7 or 8, and then, you know, we stayed up for as long as we could that night. I think we all called it around like 1 o'clock in the morning, probably right when you saw it.
Yeah.
Probably right when you saw it. And so first of all, I should apologize, because I'm a bad friend for not sending you the CA, right? Like,
no, we got into it. I think both me and JP were both in the same boat. We're like, hey, how come we're not pinging the group on this one, guys? Like we need a ping. So the next morning, Saturday morning, JP put out an all points bulletin and all JP.
Yeah,
like going forward, when you guys are 100% sure of something, ping the group.
I think that's the problem, was we weren't still, and we're like, and it's like, man, I always feel really weird about doing that, because I know what I do, and I'm a schizo when I buy stuff like this, right? So it's like, if I'm in, that doesn't mean I'm in for long. And if I am, I'm usually wrong. So I don't want you to come with me and feel bad about it, right? So like, but I should have, and I didn't even think about it till like the next morning. And by the next morning, it was like 20. And we're like, oh my God. And so, you know, I found it very hard. I literally so Saturday comes, and I'm finding it very difficult.
Saturday right here.
Yeah, I'm finding it very difficult to hold during Saturday. It
Well,
like
also
peaked at
during
32.
Saturday, like
Yes.
11, you got 11 noon, so right around lunchtime on Saturday, massive red candle,
Yes.
which
And so
would
now
make
I'm getting shaky. I was getting shaky here. And so, and I literally have my fingers on the sell button on my Phantom wallet. And like literally the transactions loaded up and I'm about to sell. And one of my group chats that I'm in, with some 2017 folks chamber that we used to bang around with. Yeah. He just randomly threw some TA into the chat. And he's like, this is where you should be bidding. And I'm sitting there with my finger on the sell button.
That's where I'm selling.
Yeah. And he's like, and he's like, I'm bidding here. And I was like, oh, all right. Well, if you're bidding here, because he wasn't in prior, he's like,
Right.
I'm bidding here. And I was like, all right, well, where would you cut that? And he's like 22. So I think the price was like 24 or something.
Mhm.
And he's like, if it's closing under 22, it's gonna distribute and you should cut it. And he's like,
Right.
but I'm bidding here and we'll see what happens. And so that I dropped in the war room and that gave me confidence to hold it then. And then obviously we were hitting around that about to break all-time highs that night. Around the same time, 10 o'clock p.m., you got Coinbase and Binance back to back, literally almost concurrent tweets. And then, I'm like, okay, well, I can go to sleep. Like, I feel okay
100%.
for sleeping tonight. So we're all like, all right, see you tomorrow, chat. And wake up and it's 60. Or actually 4:30 in the morning, because I now decided I was turning my do not disturb off in case somebody had to ping me. And so 4:30 in the morning, my brother is texting me and he's like, holy crap, Trump. And I was like, what? And I open up my wallet and it's at 70. And I literally, this is what I did. Like a hand on my head, like, holy cow, couldn't believe it. And then, all right, so, we're hitting there. You see this big red candle on the first big red candle, right? It recovers. And now we're at Sunday evening-ish, Sunday at like 5:30. And we got a snowstorm here. And my kids, small children, have been dying to go out all day. And they're like, Dad, take me out. We were waiting for the snow to accumulate so we could shovel the driveway. I was going to take them out during halftime of the Eagles game. We're like literally about to go get dressed to go outside. And that thing happens. That starts to happen. And I'm like, so here was my experience. I had another group chat of some buddies that were just three people in a DM on Discord. And the only reason I even knew it was happening was because somebody dropped the Melania tweet in the chat and was like, is this real? So I immediately went to go look if that was real. By the time I even went to see it, I see the Trump account retweet it. And I was like, oh no, this is going to be bad. And so first of all, I was like, what can I put into this? Because I wanted to get into that.
Pivot.
And I didn't have anything. I had ported my wallets, right? Like, and so now this is the second time I've now had to tell my wife during the weekend, something is happening. And so, but this was panic. Like
this is not good happening, bad happening.
She can see it on my face. I was like, oh no. And like, I'm like, boys, I have to go in the other room. I take my laptop, I close the door. I'm like standing over my bed with the laptop on the bed. And I'm in full, like, I'm paralyzed. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to sell. And the whole network is just bogged down. Whoa. Shane got out his whole clip somewhere at like 57.
I was DMing Shane.
Yeah, he got out at somewhere like 57. I had two different wallets. I got one wallet completely out at around probably that same price.
Okay.
And then I took half of that and threw it right into Melania. And
Now,
so I
it's
got
funny. So you were able to get a transaction done on Melania?
miracle. I don't know how.
I
So,
tried to buy it a bunch of times and I
Same.
was getting weird
dude, I had like
messages.
20%. I had like 20% slippage. I had 20% slippage. I was paying some enormous like tip in terms of Solana.
Right.
In Solana land, I was paying a large tip, and somehow got one through at like 4.5 billion.
Okay.
And it dipped to like 2 for a minute. I was like, oh man, did I do something wrong? Is this fake? Am I going to lose half the gains I just had on this one wallet, whatever? And that started running up to, I got out of that at 11, I think. And because I didn't want to sleep on that one.
No.
And then I left the other half of my Trump bag to just see what happened, because it had started to rebound at that point.
Oof.
And so I took my kids out, and but that was, and then the next day I decided that I was gonna take it all out, so I sold the rest of the bag on Monday.
Okay. So
And
you did okay? I feel like you did okay.
I did very well. Yes.
Okay. I feel like
Let's go.
I thought the story was gonna be broke
No.
even.
No,
Lost a little bit.
I think I ended up with overall the entire bag was probably a
4?
no,
X?
probably like an 8.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
laughing.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was good. It was good.
Thank goodness. Last time I was looking at the chat when you were in full panic mode, I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't even want to ask him about it.
Oh well,
That's what
shit.
I was
I mean,
seeing.
it happened again yesterday, because I bought back in yesterday because I was like, all right, it's prime to go, and it was going up to, like, I got in at 38 or something, ran to 48 on the Coinbase stuff, and then he gets on TV, and somebody asks him about it, and he, the like flash FUD instead of flash flood. The flash FUD happened where he kind of, I don't know,
like,
people were saying he
I've been
denied
watching
it.
Yeah, no, I watched it. It's like, oh, we launched something. I haven't looked at it. It's basically anytime he gets associated with something that's not good, it's the same canned response. Like, oh, I'm not very aware of it. I kind of know about it. It was exactly the same thing.
And
But
what
he
was
did
crazy,
say-
someone clipped that, right? They clipped it even smaller to say, I don't know.
I don't know much about it.
Yeah,
Right.
Is
yeah.
the clip
Yeah.
that went out on Twitter that sent everybody panicking.
Oh yeah.
And
Same
I'm
thing he
literally
said about David Duke.
Yeah. I'm watching Thread Guy. I was watching Thread Guy and Frank do their like AI dev stream. And Frank is like full ported into Trump, like everything he had. And this is happening live. So I'm watching Frank just like lose his net worth while this is all happening. And I'm panicking now. So I panic sold literally the bottom tick on that stuff. And that's when I was like really pissed and tilted, because it recovered very quickly.
Right.
But then I decided I was going to be done with it for a while. So I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens from here. But that was my whole story. I finished it just in time to
I was going to
leave.
say it's perfect time. So before you go, last question. Is Trump launching a meme coin? Is that legal or illegal? What are your thoughts there? Because we were talking about
It's legal now, baby.
Oh my goodness, legal now for sure. But like,
It's legal now.
that's insane, right? Like you can't
Look,
just launch.
I mean, if you have experienced this past weekend and you're not bullish about like building in crypto now, where I feel like it hasn't been even a possibility in the past, while since we've gotten in. It's always been like this, we don't know, taboo type of thing. And I think what's happened since Friday, even just like
I would make the argument that it may have hurt it.
Well, I don't know. Maybe, but then yesterday, I think were some pretty bullish things.
Because
right?
now
Like
we're seeing, because we saw a lot of stuff. We'll talk about it next week, but we saw some stuff with AI and a lot of that stuff. But already Elon's getting in the face of our boy.
Oh yeah, Sam and Elon going at it on the
not a
timeline
fan
today.
So I mean, like
Yeah.
it's kind of a shit show a little bit.
Well, but then Trump signed some executive orders about crypto yesterday.
We got our boy's out, man. For years,
Ross
is free, man. Are you kidding
me? And then Hester Pierce, who's the crypto mom, she got tapped to lead the crypto committee or something, and I don't know, lots of bullish crypto.
It just
stuff.
seems like a higher end Litecoin conference at this point. For those know,
maybe that's what the next 4 years will be. But
but
don't forget. Don't forget.
You could make money on Litecoin.
I was gonna say, don't forget. What's his name? What the heck's the guy's name?
Who knows anymore?
Charlie Lee. Don't forget, Charlie Lee sold his Litecoin at $420 a pop. So
sure did.
There's hope for Litecoin conferences out there for the next 4 years anyway.
All right, we'll let you get to it, man.
All right, appreciate you guys. Sorry I was late.
Thanks for the
story.
I'm
leaving early.
Once it's a topic Bunch likes, he'll be back on full time next week.
No, I literally have to. Now I have to go speak at this like online conference, and they did this thing where, they had like 3 dry run sessions to make sure you can log in and be ready and all that stuff. And I couldn't get it to work. So I'm trying to leave myself 10 minutes before the session starts to go try to figure out how to log in now. So
all right, good luck with that.
Next week I'll have some fun news to share. We'll talk AI and all that good stuff.
It'll be so exciting.
Let's go.
All right. Peace out, homie.
Bye.
What a story.
What a guy. I thought he lost money, to be honest.
Me too. And that's why I didn't want to ask him about it.
That's good. Well, we're glad to see he made a little bit of money.
It's nice to see good people win,
Yeah, but is he a good person?
Well,
we'll see.
That's true. I forgot we established that.
I don't know about him anymore.
Ever since he's become an elitist.
He is. He's been defending CEOs. He's been defending CEOs right off the hop. That was a red flag. Okay. He didn't like. We were talking about AOC the other day, which is still a conundrum to me. I'm like, how do people not like her? She seems all right. Not a fan of her. I'm like, all right, okay, all right. I'm watching you. I'm watching you a little closer. But no, Bunch is one of the good ones. So we are happy to see that. I want to pull up. I do want to talk about. So did you see the Elon stuff? Like the Elon Sam Altman stuff?
I've only seen no, actually that part I haven't seen.
1 sec. I'll see if I can bring it up. My freaking TV's going, or my screen's going very slowly. Presents. This was Elon Musk OpenAI. So many freaking tabs up. Here we are. Okay. Bring us down here so you can see this better. So this was from OpenAI. So like Donald Trump announced like a big like AI, like we're going to be the leaders in crypto and AI and all that fun stuff, which is very exciting. But so OpenAI and Sam Altman put out this tweet yesterday, basically saying Stargate Project is a new company which intends to invest $500 billion over the next 4 years building new AI infrastructure for OpenAI in the United States. We will begin deploying $100 billion immediately, this infrastructure, and it goes on from there. And then Elon Musk hops in the chat. And apparently, I didn't know this. Elon Musk and Sam Altman, not buddies.
They got beef.
I didn't realize
why,
that.
right?
No, I don't know why.
So, and I don't, I'm not an expert on this, but I know that early on, before they were nonprofit, Elon seeded money right? And then they went for profit, and he's not seeing any return on it when other people are.
So he invested in OpenAI
He did, yeah.
and is not seeing any returns on it.
Well, it was expected to be non-profit, right? Not for profit. And then they flipped it. They flipped a
Right.
switch and
I
turned it
see.
for profit. And for some reason, I can't remember the details, but I know he's not retroactively included or because he
Gotcha.
did it so early. Like
Gotcha.
he doesn't get a piece.
Interesting. Well, he's got enough. Okay. Well, you don't need more. Okay. Chill out. Chill out, Elon. Freaking weirdo.
Are you a Sam Altman fanboy, or are you just
Listen.
not a fan of Elon?
I am not a fan. I'm not a Sam Altman fanboy.
Okay.
But I will say this. Sam Altman seems to be an actual smart person that is innovating. I cannot say the same thing about Elon. Elon's a rich kid that has got his name put on the right things at the right times.
Now, as we're going to go deeper into this, I'm assuming, but what do you think about everyone who's leaving OpenAI to go start their own things?
Yeah, so like obviously, like we covered it, and Bunch would be a lot more, he'd be a lot better at explaining this. But I know there was a shit show that happened at OpenAI.
Yeah.
Over the last 6 months, maybe even a little bit longer than that. I know a lot of people were moved out. A lot of people, like there was that whole, departure of Sam Altman, and then they brought him back, and it was So I'm not saying OpenAI is this magic, you know what I mean, like castle on the hill kind of thing. I'm just going by like, oh, Sam Altman is a smart guy who had some say in the creation of OpenAI and its success from the start to today. We're in agreement there.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just not a fan. I think a lot of people saw Elon as kind of like the real life Tony Stark. And he's just a guy that has been extremely fortunate in the decisions that he's made, but I don't see him as any sort of innovator. Somebody tweeted out like he's our generation's Einstein, and I'm like, oh, like we're fucked. Like, like if that's the case, like like he's just, I don't know. He is a guy that I think is not, again, very similar to Donald Trump, right? Where these are just two people that never were hugged enough. That were never. And I'm not even joking. I wish I was joking. That it is so clear that these two gentlemen, it just did not get enough love as children, and it has changed them biologically. And these are the people that we have now. So Elon is just the type of guy that is just looking for acceptance at every turn. He was, I mean, not that long ago, a couple of years ago, Elon was a left leaning, darling at one point. He hosted Saturday Night Live. He was a Doge guy. And then right around that same time, like there was a pivot, and some people were saying it was, something that happened in his personal life with his kids and stuff like that. He's got one trans kid. I don't know if you're familiar with that. And that trans kid is not a fan of Elon.
Yeah.
And so I think there might've been some right-wing red pilling happening because of that. But then he saw from the right, unfortunately, like a fervor, an acceptance, right? And when you are not used to having that sort of acceptance, and that's what you're requiring in your being, like it's very easy to go that route. And we're seeing, it's the same thing with Donald. To me, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, I mean, we're talking about the same person, or the same
two
type
peas in
of
a pod.
100%. Just two people that have not had enough love in their life from an early age. And it's, it shows. It shows, and this is these are villain origin stories. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what happens. So not a huge fan of Elon. Like I said, I was interested in Tesla vehicles. The more I see, the less impressed I am with them. We're seeing it now with like the Cybertrucks. They're just not made properly. So the quality is not there. He went from being what I thought was going to be like a real innovator in the automotive space to being basically a DeLorean at this point. Like, this is going to be something like, it's going to be a joke. Like, we're going to be making a Back to the Future remake with a Cybertruck. I guarantee there's somebody in Hollywood right now writing the script for the Back to the Future remake where the time traveling machine is a Cybertruck. Like, it's 100% happening. Whether it gets to actual production is a different story.
Yeah.
But somebody is writing it currently.
Oh, for sure. And to me, those things are hideous. I don't know.
I mean, they look like Aztecs. Do you remember like the old the Pontiac Aztec?
Oh, dang.
That's what they look like to me. It's just like, oh, like the Walter White vehicle. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it looks like. So I don't know. So Elon started trolling Sam on Twitter, saying they don't actually have the money. Sam came back and said, what does he say here? I don't have my glasses on. I have such a glare. Sam said, Elon goes on to say they don't actually have the money. SoftBank has well under 10 billion secured. I have that on good authority. Sam Altman says, wrong, as you surely know. Want to come visit the first site already underway. This is for the country. I realize what is great for the country isn't always optimal for your companies, but in your new role, I hope you'll mostly put America first. So yeah, interesting stuff.
That is interesting. And have you looked much into Elon's, what is it, XAI?
No.
Isn't that his? Yeah, that is his.
Yes, it is his.
Yeah. Because, they were the first to do, we really need Bunchu here because, I'm going to sound like an idiot. They were basically the first to build a whole bunch of compute that nobody thought was possible.
Correct.
And so, I don't know if this is, I'm interested in this whole beef. And if this is healthy competition by people with way more money than I'll ever see, or
it's not healthy competition. It is such a shit show in the United States right now. Like, we try to frame it in a normal way, but what is happening is not normal.
Are you saying we as an honorary American?
Yeah, 100% we.
Thank you. Thank you for
I got you guys. I'm down with the cause. I'm basically as close to America as you can get without being American.
Yeah.
I hate hockey.
Mayhem's about to leave the chat.
Yeah, I almost got my citizenship revoked. So I'm as close to American as it gets. But yeah, no, it's just crazy stuff. Like, it's just a lineup of billionaires at the inauguration the other day. It's straight up oligarchy at this point. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, we're an embarrassment. It's okay.
Not even embarrassment. It's just, honestly, what it comes down to is just misinformed electorate. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people just think they're going to be billionaires at some point, and it's just not the case. You're not going to be listen.
Wait, this is the first I'm hearing of that.
This is you're not going to be a billionaire. Tax breaks. You're probably not you. I'm talking to the listeners and the
right.
Yeah, you're probably not going to be a millionaire, to be honest. So the tax breaks that people are getting, I mean, that's what the electorate is. It's there's a big percentage of voters that have been fed the American dream story for so long, for so many generations, for so many decades, that it's just inherent. So when you see people, somebody once, I forget who said it, but somebody said that Donald Trump, and this was years ago, it may have been like Norm Macdonald, but I think it was like a comedian said that, and this is like 2005, said that Donald Trump is what a poor person would imagine a rich person to be. Do you know what I'm saying?
There we go. Yeah.
So like, it's the gold everything.
Yeah.
It's the suits. It's the steaks. It's the vodka. So I think there's just a really big portion of the electorate that longs for the day that they're going to make it rich, and all these great things that are happening for the rich right now are going to happen to them, and it's just not going to happen. So it's bad news. It's bad news. So keep informed. I mean, now you got what's happening with TikTok and Twitter and Facebook. There's some real interesting stuff happening on Instagram the other day where you couldn't even search like Democrat. You could search Republican, and like all regular Republican things would pop up, and you would search Democrat and it would be like nothing. You would search Joe Biden, nothing. Like, it was crazy. So these are the people that were at the inauguration. Mark Zuckerberg, you know, he owns Meta, so it's Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And you know what's happening with TikTok now. There's a 90-day extension on the ban. TikTok's going to be sold. The American version of TikTok's going to be sold to somebody, whether it's Mr. Beast or probably, my guess is probably Meta. So like Zuckerberg's going to own Instagram, is going to own TikTok, and is going to own Facebook.
I don't think that'll go well.
Of course, it's not going to go well. Of course, but I'm almost positive that's what's going to happen over the next 90 days. So
that is true. He bent, you know, he was one way, and then he kind of bent the knee because he had to.
Not had to. He could have been like the Costco CEO, or the there's CEOs that are coming up smelling roses lately. Costco CEO, the Arizona Iced Tea CEO. There's some people that understand, like, oh, I'm worth $100 million. I don't need more money than that. I'm worth $50 million. I don't need more money than that.
Give me 50 million. I'll be good.
Bro, like $50 million is like, you are good. You don't need to worry no more. You know, that's generational wealth. And then, so you look at billionaires, and it's just like an asinine number. It's an unimaginable number. So
more money than you can spend, for sure.
More money than you can even imagine. Like there's numbers like if you started, what were some of them? If you saved all the money that you ever made for 10,000 years and put it into like investment funds, you still wouldn't be a quarter of the wealth that Elon Musk has, like for 10,000 years. Like, it's an insane number. So, and people, I think people just have trouble understanding the amount of wealth that is out there. So there are good CEOs out there that try to do better. Like Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg could eliminate poverty in the United States like that and barely affect their bottom line. So when you have that kind of power and you don't use it, it really tells me what kind of person you are. So when you have the ability to make extreme change and you don't take advantage of it, that's I'm judging you at that point. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of greed, right? There's
absolutely. So I don't know. I just want everybody. Is it wrong that I just want everybody to have a nice life where they can just enjoy the simple things, not have to stress, not have to worry about where their food's coming from, maybe take a nice vacation once a year? You know what I mean? Is that so wrong? Nothing wrong with that. You know, have their kids go to school and become whatever they want to become. You know what I mean? And not be strapped with hundreds of thousands of dollars of interest accumulating debt for decades after they finish school. Like, is that so wrong to ask? So these are the type of questions Bunchu would not agree with.
Yeah, that's true.
This is some fucking left propaganda now.
Don't take my money. Right. Bunch of swimming in it now.
Yeah, just Scrooge McDuckin in his freaking money pool.
If anything, he should be seating us right now for all the work that we've done.
But anyways, I will let you, you know, I appreciate you spending the time with me today. I know you have a baby, somewhere in your house at this point. I can't hear it anymore. But I appreciate you helping out today. And we're going to talk some more AI, more fun stuff next week with Bunch. I think he's going to show, he's working on some cool stuff.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it.
So we're going to hopefully, if it's not next week, it'll be very, very shortly thereafter. He's going to show us some cool gambling AI stuff. That's very exciting. So tune in next week for that. We'll cut it loose there. We're coming in just over time. I gotta go pick up some pizza for the kids. What are you having tonight for dinner?
Chili.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody just I saw this on TikTok the other day. and they called North Americans weirdos for not putting chili over rice.
Oh,
And I started doing it. Game changer. So
really?
have your chili the way you're going to have it tonight. But my guess is you'll probably have some leftovers.
Yeah. Okay. I need to make sure. I gotta set myself a reminder. I'm
Just
interested.
get some rice. It's the simplest thing. It's fucking delicious. Chili
No
over rice, man.
way.
Change your life. I just changed your life today.
You did. You did. Send it to me in a DM so I don't
I
forget.
will. I will.
I'm legit gonna try that.
Chili and rice. It's
Yeah.
great.
I appreciate you letting me hop up and
Listen.
shoot the breeze with you. Hopefully you didn't screw up your numbers. Honestly, after Bunch left, they actually went up. So
skyrocketed.
Really,
Skyrock. I didn't want to say it. I appreciate you saying it.
I'll say the hard things.
But anyways, that's gonna do it for today's show. I've been your humble main host. I feel like I don't know what Bunch, the main host, the captain of the ship. I feel like I did okay.
Yeah, you're the
I
captain
feel
now.
Payne did much better than I normally do. So this is
No
a win for everybody. This was a win for everybody. I know Bunch is happy because he only had to do like 20 minutes of the show.
Oh,
Everybody's winning today. But until next time, keep the mic hot.
What have I done? What have I become? I can't describe this.